evening, Geek. It's me, the artisanmc. Come throw some words at you. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. And give me a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly, because I got a new phone. The old phone, I'm streaming for the new phone, and I have to see if it's coming through clear. One in the chat. Crowd participation is important. Okay, clear, no static, no down the hallway talking through a conch shell underwater. Feedback, feedback, feedback. All right, I see some ones. So somebody else. What up, Malika Aquateki? The one, the package man. Had a soda. Was good. Yeah, Malika, it was a needful thing. I showed up to work yesterday and didn't realize or didn't remember that I was on call that day. So I didn't bring anything, my regular kit, with me to be on call. Changing clothes, my bag to work on shit, my laptop, none of that shit. I left it all at home. And my phone had been having this problem. It wasn't charging all the way. I had a Motorola. It has a big battery. So it needs to charge, right? And it has to charge with the 2 times speed adapter. Otherwise, it charges slow. This motherfucker wasn't charging at all. No matter what cord I tried, even plugging it in directly to the socket, it wasn't charging. And now I have to work on call, which means I have to stay. And my phone's not charging. So thankfully it was slow yesterday. And my FD wasn't tripping. So I was able to run from work to the local sale store and upgrade, replace my phone. That wasn't the one I wanted, but it was the one right below it. I didn't give a shit. I needed my phone. So I got the new phone and spent last night getting everything transferred over, all my porn and everything. Not joking. But all my sexy pictures and stuff, yeah. Had to get those all transferred over. So the new phone is just as full as the last phone. Because they have close to the same memory. But everything is on my SD card and not on the phone itself. So get home tonight, swap it over to the 1 terabyte. That'll be Gucci. Swap everything off the SD over to the 1 terabyte, and I'll be good. So now I just have a cavalcade of old phones. Because they don't actually fix the connection on the bottom. Type C, they don't actually fix that shit. So the connection can be made securely again, especially if your phone is taking a couple of falls while it was plugged in, just fucks up the jack. But it also hopefully eliminated some of the other issues I was having, like the audio jack giving static when I hook it into the car while I'm driving. We'll see. New phone is similar to the old phone. Like I said, it's just an upgraded model. This one was 7. This one is a 13. Well, jumped a few classes. I like to keep things for a while. Some new features I like, some old features. That's what it is. I don't know what to say now. I'm on to Janet Jack me. Take the trigger. Shut up. Janet Jack me. Sorry, Andrew Tate. I've seen porn before, dude. Just saying. 70s baby, 80s kid. I've seen porn before. Janet Jackson was a motherfucker. It was like a lot of sands. Anyway, on to the other show. Uh, RIP to Paul Rubin. And a shout out to Malika at the same time. Malika sent me the text yesterday, let me know that Paul Rubin had passed. And right after that, I got the alert on my phone with the news feed. It's like, yeah, Paul Rubin had passed. Now, one of the most shocking parts about that, to me, was that he was 70 years old. I didn't know he was that damn old. I really didn't. Really didn't. Like, damn, he was 70? Holy shit. How old was he when he was doing Pee Wee? 30? Jesus. I didn't realize that. But it made me reminisce on seeing Paul Rubin for the first time of knowing who he actually was, watching Cheech and Chong movies. That shit, right? I think it was Up in Smoke. My brother's dad loved Cheech and Chong movies. There's a couple of things I got from my brother's dad. As despicable and as much as I'd want to drive a sharp pointed object right through his fucking heart. A couple of things he gave, a couple of things I got from him that I can give him credit. This is why I say people have a lot of sides to them. Like Charles says, they're multifaceted. They are. He's despicable in some ways, so he used to kick my mama's ass. I know my mom. They was probably fighting each other. I can agree to that. But be that as it may, there's some things he actually did good. One, he took me fishing. Let me fish at night and show me how to skin fish and shit like that, right? All well and good. Other one, he loved Bruce Lee movies. Loved Bruce Lee movies. Always watched Bruce Lee movies. He also loved old TV20, Rockford Files, Perry Mason, old black and white TV shows and shit. I'd watch that. Love that. Love that shit. All right, this motherfucker's getting a whole porn chick conversation in my stream. This motherfucker get demonetized and taken down. I'm blaming each one of you niggas. That being so inclusive. Keep that shit going. But don't stop fucking up on people's streams. Start coming to your house and waiting for you to do streams. So you can say all that shit that YouTube don't like you saying in the chat. Get their channel shut down. Anyway, the last thing that he actually did that I actually approved of was Cheech and Chong movies. I like Cheech and Chong movies. He was a dope head. He did drugs. He did coke and shit. I ain't a secret. A bunch of y'all parents was fucked up back in that generation too. Those are all movies. He did like Cheech and Chong movies, and I did watch those Cheech and Chong movies right there with my mom. Because women with the man they love go do some reprehensible shit. Let a lot of shit slide. Yeah, he was a kooky. So I saw a lot of Cheech and Chong movies and developed an affinity for them. They're funny. Funny as shit. One of those movies had Paul Rubin in it. Cheech and Chong goes to I think it's the sanitarium or whatever. That's why I think it's Up in Smoke. And they're in there with all the crazy dudes. Paul Rubin was one of the crazy dudes. He was a hamburger man. And I thought that voice was so fucking ridiculous. Mind you, he's a comedian. So it's a bunch of comedians getting to act out and some shit, right? So that was my first experience with him, not even knowing his name, really. You get up to the late 80s, and there's some other movies that he was in, I can't remember correctly, but get to the one everybody knows about, which is Pee Wee's Big Adventure. After he had, Pee Wee's Playhouse and all that shit blew up. That shit blew up. I lost a whole girlfriend over that goddamn movie. Because back in the late 80s, that was the biggest shit. And it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. Goofy as shit, but it was fun. Because what's not to understand about a boy and his bike? I want my fucking bike back. Stole it, loved it, took care of it, shined it up. Greedy motherfucker stole it. I want my bike. Come to bike. What's not to understand about that? My brother had to live that shit. For real. So I never had a problem with Paul Rubens, even when he got caught, jerking in a movie house, watching porn. Even as a kid, preteen, it's like, ugh, okay, that's gross, I guess. Why would he go to a theater to do that shit? Then I got through puberty, start messing with chicks and stuff like that, start doing things to girls at movie theaters that make moisturized hands important. Okay, well maybe I understand a little bit. He's a grown up. He was a grown man in a place that's where you could do that act. It seems pathetic to me, but if you do the math now, well, he was probably 36 years old at the time. Who cares? The only people that cared was all the ones that was mad that he had the successful ass show for kids. That's why. That's why it became such a big thing. That's why when that shit came out, boy, they made sure that was everywhere. That got Pee Wee's Playhouse off the air. Not talked about. So them same motherfuckers want to turn around and give you a Blues Clues or some other goofy shit like that. These people that's sitting up there like they high on ecstasy or some shit doing a kids show. Did you see Blue? No, Steve, you look high. What the fuck is going on with you? Why is you on the camera like that? Turned out he was into some weird shit. Like, he a grown ass man trying to do a kid show. Yeah, probably was messing with some shit. Anyway, to me, that's the one part of the tit for tat. Is at least with Paul Rubin, he was always funny. He was always funny. Even in Buffy, the original Buffy, Christy Swanson, he was a vampire in that shit. It was funny. Paul Rubin was always funny. And he had that unmistakable face that when you saw him, you knew exactly who he was. That's why later yesterday, I was scrolling around on Instagram. I went to Tony Hawk's page. Well, not Tony Hawk. It was Tony Hawk. I'm on Tony Hawk's page. Tony Hawk got a picture of Paul Rubens standing up there. I'm like, oh shit, he met him before. Cool. Or was it Tom McFarlane? Might have been Tom McFarlane. Okay. Either way, as far as I know from everybody that I've listened to that talked about him, he's a cool dude. He's just a cool dude. That was one incident fucked up his whole career. One incident. Doing the same thing a bunch of other grown ass men was doing at the same time. Like, God damn. Same. That tit for tat. Became successful all of a sudden. You feel some kind of way about it. You want to go back and look at the ratings. I bet Pee Wee's Playhouse is getting better ratings than Sesame Street back at that time. While that fucking arrest was put everywhere so quick. Shut that shit down. Yeah, he got canceled before it was popping. Shit, he got canceled before there was even a term for it. Before the kids that used the shit was ever even conceived of. Before their parents was even out to move all the way. Nowadays, they probably wouldn't even give a shit. How time progresses, man. So R.I.P. to Paul Rubens. You know, he will be missed. I did lose a girlfriend over that Pee Wee Herman shit. Shout out to Tanya. Yeah, Tanya's still cool, so it's not that big of a deal. But at the time, it was big shit. Junior high school nigga, that was big shit. You can't be having me. There was no Latina because she don't like me acting stupid with my friend. Like Pee Wee Herman. I act like Pee Wee Herman. I'm acting like Eddie Murphy. Buddy Thompson was acting like Pee Wee Herman. I knew the parts in the movie better than him, even way back then. But I was Eddie Murphy. Wasn't Pee Wee Herman. I just couldn't get away with saying all the curse words in Catholic private school. Just saying. Ass whooping you don't want to have to take. But beyond that, a couple other people passed away, and they were all young. Young as fuck. It's like, oh, Beth had a vacation for a minute and woke up quick. Picked that sign up and spin it around his finger. Ah! Got 3 in one go. Shit. Guess he's back to work. So he will be missed, especially with comedians. Anyone who grew up on Pee Wee's Big Adventure or Pee Wee's Playhouse. Will show up at his funeral. Anybody will put a microphone in Lawrence Fishburne's face to see what he thinks about Paul Rubens' passing. A lot of y'all know he got a little start on Pee Wee's Playhouse. Little bit. That's not his main start. His main start was in Apocalypse Now or whatever. Lying about his name so he can get the part. But he did have a reoccurring role on Pee Wee's Playhouse, which got him on the television more often. So I'm curious if you have anything to say about that shit. Curious. Yep, Tim Burton's directorial debut. Yep, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. You can see Tim Burton's influence on it too. But beyond that, I was listening to some stuff recently. It just had me thinking about geekdom. I don't know, man. I really got my lawn chair out and just sitting down looking at geekdom right now. I really do. Listening to these motherfuckers talk and just watching how they move. I really am. I'm really just sitting there like a hunter in my blind, just sitting there with the binoculars, like it's National Geographic. I can watch all of the fucking ridiculous animals walking around, see what's happening at this watering hole. Cornbread Earl. Yep. Cornbread Earl. Only a cowboy. Cowboy Earl. So one of the things I was looking at is all this shit that people want to talk about Secret Invasion. A show that markedly all of them, and I say all of them being the the reviewing geeks weren't watching. The show, none of them said they were watching, but all of them are doing actually reports on how bad it was and how terrible it was, just so they can by proxy get at Disney again to say how much they're failing. Um, was the show awesome? No. Told you I was more interested in seeing the Foundation as soon as the Foundation came on, which was strange as hell to say. Strange as hell to say. Foundation was holding me a little bit more. Because Secret Invasion, although short, seemed like it was meandering a little bit. But what I thought the show had good was some good performances, man, by some very good actors. I didn't like the people they killed off. Didn't like that shit. Didn't like throwing the new Uber woman in there. Didn't like that shit. Even though I like Amelia Clark, that ain't how I like her. It's not. I didn't like black dude getting killed by a white chick again, which none of these Caucasian reviewers even say anything about. They totally oblivious to that shit. They was fine with that. But I don't think it was as terrible as it could have been. And I thought it was funny because here this show is with the main character being Nick Fury. Nick Fury is the central character of this show. And they're going in on Nick Fury, how terrible it was, and debase the character and all the rest of that. And I'm like, only one person I saw actually really tried to connect the fact that this ain't original continuity Nick Fury. It's not. This is ultimate Nick Fury, the Sam Jackson looking version, the black one, not the white one. So I'm curious if anybody actually put this shit together. And I didn't think this will wait until Sunday to say, but I'm curious if anybody actually put this together. That these motherfuckers didn't like Nick Fury anyway, right? Not this version. You know why? Because he's a race swap. He's tokenized, right? Right? Sam Jackson Fury, that's all he is. He's Nick Fury dipped in chocolate. So why would they like him? Were they praising him when he showed up in the Iron Man? Was they loving him in the first Avengers movie? Were they clapping it up for him when they saw him in Endgame? Were they? I don't think so. Don't think so at all. So why the fuck do I think that they would actually like this show at all? When it centers another tokenized character. Why would I? I saw people getting all cringy over the fact that Nick Fury was sitting up there kissing a fucking alien, a Skrull at that. And I'm like, the fuck do you have a problem with? Is it in a classic scene of Captain Kirk, William Shatner, kissing a green alien chick? Isn't that a classic scene from classic Star Wars? Holy shit. Zachary Quinto and Zoe Saldana had a whole kiss. Zachary Quinto was a fucking Vulcan. Kissing a black chick. In studio, I just said he was dipped in chocolate, but the proper term for black Nick Fury is Nick at Night. That's what you call him in the comic world. Call him Nick at Night. That's what the white boys like to call him because they don't like that shit. So I watch a lot of sci-fi. I have watched a lot of sci-fi. A black dude, a white dude, a yellow, whatever the fuck. Somebody kissing an alien ain't that big of a fucking deal to me. It's not. Holy shit. Wasn't Peter Quill banging a whole green chick in Guardians of the Galaxy? Nobody was saying nothing about that. I think he had a pink chick too. Forgot her whole fucking name. Banged her out, went to go grab a oar, left her ass in the ship sleeping. So what the hell was he worried about? Again, kissing those Zozo down. But what huh? Is this supposed to be something so cringy now? What the fuck are you doing, dumbass? That, oh my God, this is so terrible. Oh, this is so cringy. Look, he was kissing a scroll. So fucking what? Really? Ugh. The last show on Disney Plus from Marvel had Daredevil fucking a whole green chick. She-Hulk, anybody? It sounds so stupid. It sounds so fucking stupid. Like, if you read fucking comic books, nigga, that's standard. Interspecies erotica is standard in comic books. Shit, just on the X-Men, something kissing something that don't look human is not out of the ordinary, nigga. Because that ugly motherfucker Beak had a whole girlfriend. He looked like a bird. Fuck out of here. So stupid. Like, it's just, you could call it content creation, but I call it lack of imagination, nigga. Fake geeks, whatever the fuck you want to call, whatever you want to say. But that shit sounds so stupid to me. It's like, just say you don't like the idea that visually it would have been two black folks kissing each other. Oh, that Nick Fury actually cared about somebody. Because nobody gave a shit about Captain America and Peggy Carter kissing. Nobody cared. That was heartfelt. We don't care about Peter Quill and Gamora kissing, do we? No. But Nick Fury get a little smooch. We like, oh my God. Oh. So cringy. So cringy. Shut the fuck up. And that's why I was listening to that shit and remembering. Don't think I don't know that you motherfuckers didn't like that Nick Fury anyway. Don't think I forgot that shit. I got a long memory, motherfucker. I'm the great elephant in this bitch. Don't think I forgot. Never liked that Nick Fury. That's why the less you said, the less you saw him, the less you complained about him. Now he got a whole show to himself, and oh, this is going to be garbage. Now, the criticism is true, but it's stupid. This is why it's stupid. Yes, the Secret Wars show wasn't the comic book. Oh, shit, imagine that. You know what? The motherfucking Infinity War movie wasn't Infinity War either. Endgame wasn't fucking Endgame. Civil War wasn't Civil War. There has been nothing in the MCU with a title on it that comic book fans know that has been that when you watch the movie. None of it. So is that even a valid criticism at this point? No. You scratching your ass and seeing what hair sticks to it. Well, it wasn't the Secret Invasion comic. Then I'm sorry, are you Comics Explain? Why don't you explain what was happening in the Secret Invasion comic? And how that would actually work in a TV show. You dumb fuck. Oh, you didn't have the rest of the heroes there. Oh, you know why? Same reason Endgame had to kill some of the motherfuckers off. Are you paying attention to the economy? Are you paying attention to what's going on with Disney? That would be expensive. That would be really fucking expensive. You talking about $212 million spent on this show. Yeah, probably some of it, most of it, went to the actors. Sam Jackson, Don Cheadle, Ben Middleton, Amelia Clark, and Carol, whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I thought those was five A-list actors. At least a couple of them. What do you think they getting? Peanuts? For five good actors like that, 6 episodes for the show, which is why it's short. You want to get pissy with me because it cost $212 million? Look, motherfucker. I just saw Indiana Jones 5, and they spent $300 million on that piece of shit. And the 2 marketable people in it, or 3 marketable people in it, worth seeing. Harrison Ford, Antonio Banderas, and Lance Mickelson. Who gave a fuck about Phoebe Waller-Bridge? Who? Really? I didn't. So where the rest of the money go? Because the damn show didn't go to the CG. Because if you match it up, given the company they're working for, the CG in Secret Wars looked a bit better than the CG in Indiana Jones 5. And they spent more money. Of the same parent company's money. The fuck up. Artistic liberty. Yeah, Aquatechy. Artistic liberties have always been taken when it comes to the source material. It always has been. The problem with Marvel is first 10 years they really tried to stick to it a little bit, which is why I told you guys, if you look at the MCU and you actually read fucking comics, you understand that the MCU is Marvel Ultimate comic books. It's not classic shit. It's the Ultimate stuff. The Ultimates was already taking some liberties with classic Marvel continuity. So when they switched it into movies, that's what they used. That's why you have a Black Nick Fury. Because Black Nick Fury didn't exist until they started the Ultimate Comics line. Fuck nut. So it's not going to be the same story. Because the Secret Invasion story in comics happened in classic continuity. It didn't happen in Ultimate Comics. So given that the MCU is based on the Ultimate versions of these characters, their Secret Invasion is going to be fucking different. This is what I came to when I first started doing videos in the space. Why did I start throwing some of this stuff out there? Just to show you motherfuckers that most of the people talking about this shit, knowledge is old. They don't even read this shit currently. Or at that time weren't reading it concurrently. They don't know what the fuck was going on. They always basing some shit off of something from back in the goddamn 80s, which tells you, excuse me, the last time they read a comic. Fuck do I want you to tell me about the golden age? You know, before the comic bust. Why don't you tell me about something in the 2000s, the 90s, nigga? Something current. What's happening this week? What happened last week, last month, last year? Nothing? Then what the fuck are you talking about? You can't watch that and understand that? This ain't classic continuity Secret Invasion. No fucking shit. We in the Ultimate universe. Fuckers make me sick. Black men have remained effeminate and asexually, even when involving their species. Yeah, Look, far as I know, that's the only black dude in the MCU that's kissed anybody. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And far as I know, all of them single. Prove me wrong. So what you all upset about? Because a nigga kissed somebody, huh? Whatever. Told y'all. What's the difference between Nick Fury banging a Skrull and Wolverine banging Mystique? What's the difference? I don't see much of one, except one's a mutant and one's an alien, which means the alien a little stronger than the mutant, because Mystique ain't got no strength like that, which means that shit tight. If Skrulls were real, incels would not be incels anymore. They'd had a 10 they always wanted, all the time. Keep them from killing up a bunch of people. Oh, excuse me, outside of Luke Cage, huh? Yeah, but I said MCU, not Netflix, because Luke Cage was getting ass. White chicks, black chicks, Puerto Rican chicks. Luke Cage was stirring it like motherfucking coffee. Shout out to Bernie Mac. Stirring it like motherfucking coffee. Shit. Legitimately breaking down the walls. Literally and pun intended. So, as far as the show, the Secret Invasion show, you can watch it and see the bullshit in it, or you can enjoy some of the performances. And I would say a lot of that critique comes from that was the damn blackest cast you had since the other Disney Plus show that they shit on equally, which was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Why? Another black lead and a lot more black folks in the show. So what you expecting? Can only have one buck on the plantation. Now, story wise, some of it did make you dislike it. It did. But I told you guys before, I try to give things a chance. I pick out the good parts and the bad parts. That's all I can do. All I can do is watch it for what I see it as, pick out what I think was good about it, pick out what I thought was terrible about it. And I told y'all up front what I thought was terrible about it. But I also told you what I thought was good about it. I didn't have a problem seeing Nick Fury actually dealing with a little bit of PTSD after being snapped away, nigga. Getting to find out more about who he was, his life, and shit like that. I don't seem to have a problem with that. Apparently, everybody else watching the shit did because they don't want to give a fuck about Nick Fury. Well, why not? Why don't they want to care about Nick Fury? We get Captain America a little bit of his insides and who he is and where he is and how he was hurting over Peggy and all the rest of that shit. We got that from Bucky too. We can't get it about Nick Fury? Well, why the fuck not? We can't get his interpersonal angst? No? Oh. Because it's not supposed to matter, right? Got you. He only supposed to be there doing his fucking job. We don't want to care about his fucking feelings. What's going on with him? Because one of the critiques I saw, which was the scene with him and Rhodey, was awesome. It was a good scene. But that it was undercut by the fact that he got outside and then was breaking down having panic attacks. No, it wasn't. It wasn't undercut to me. It actually proves how much it's taken for him to try to get back to where he was. and who he is now. Because everybody got a strong poker face till they get behind closed doors and a little motherfucker, some blithering simp ass bitch. Now the part that fucks me up is the roadie being a clone. I mean, not a clone, a scroll. That was fucked up because it does beg the question, how long? And it does fuck up continuity. Like, come on, man, really? I'm sitting there thinking, didn't they kill that black dude too? Like, oh shit, here we go. Yeah, Tony had PTSD after New York. The only difference is that motherfucker start building suits and shit. Nick Fury, what did he start building? More helicarriers and shit. Man, calm down. I don't look. This is supposed to be what Marvel is good at, giving you that interpersonal side of the character, not just the cardboard cutout. He always supposed to be badass. He always supposed to be tough, but to give you that internal angst that makes you understand. Yeah, Spider-Man is doing all that web swinging and joking and shit like that, but he really dealing with some shit today. You know, his aunt in the hospital right now. This nigga is about to lose his job. He might lose Mary Jane too, because he won't be honest with her. But he out here cracking jokes with the Rhino and shit. This motherfucker going through it. That's the hallmark of Marvel characters. That internal angst and getting to see that shit. Because the story ain't their powers. The story is them, the person. That's what you marvel at. And through all that interpersonal trauma that they dealing with, they still go out there and do their fucking gig and give the best to the world. Damn the personal sacrifice they making. They don't share that with everybody. Could have happened anytime after Endgame, but if it was before, we might have some issues. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, we need to know how long. You need to know how long. And he got into it. If they was actually paying attention to the show, he got into it telling Hill about it. He did. He told her. Because Hill was challenging him on that shit. Like, man, you came back and you wasn't right. Because you have to remember, both him and Hill got snapped. Like, both of them snapped. Dusted, blipped, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They got dusted. Both of them. Hill before Fury. Apparently, she came back and wanted to get at it. He came back kind of fucked up, like, we lost, nigga. We lost. Like, what the fuck? Everything I was doing, everything we was planning, we fucking lost. Which is kind of like what Tony Stark felt. Oh, we're going to lose. And then they did lose. He was like, man, I don't want no parts of this. Fuck y'all. You weren't there, Cat. What the hell? But studios say crucial. That's what the Marvel is. Yeah, I'm a deep soul, not a shallow thinker. You can kind of put together the timeline when he messed up his legs and then they finally rescued him. His legs didn't work. His legs should have never worked. That should have been the first indication that something was going on wrong because Rhodey was walking around without his fucking leg things on. And he had his leg things on during Endgame. Remember? He was stuck under all that rubble and was having to crawl out when he had to go get on the other suit because he couldn't walk. And everybody came back that day. So yeah, he had some enhancement legs, to help him walk. You could have assumed that he was wearing that shit, since you're not looking at him walking in his fucking skivvies or nothing. But who's to say? That's why they were carrying him at in Secret Invasion because he didn't have the motherfuckers on. So it may not have been that long. Who knows? Well, here's the thing. He was around. If you listen to what one of the reviewers was talking about, he put it out there that Rhodey's been gone longer than that. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. Y'all got to do your own fucking thinking sometimes. They said in the Secret Invasion show that everybody during Endgame, all the heroes that fought and bled, their DNA was collected for the harvest, right? Rhodey was there. He was there. He didn't get dusted. He was there. He wasn't one of those people that came back after the dusting either. He was already there. He had been there. So I'm not buying this. Oh, he was never there. No, that's just trying to remove that character altogether and say it was a scroll the whole time. I don't think it was a scroll the whole time. I think after Endgame, after everybody came back in the what is it, the three years or so, they've been all trying to reestablish their lives and shit like that. And Fury bounced his ass up to the space station and peaced out. I think they replaced his ass then after Endgame, not before. That's why he's strolling around in everything after Endgame. He just walking around casually, talking to folks. And I would say it's after Falcon and the Winter Soldier that they replaced his ass. Because he didn't have that appointment to be talking to the president at that point. But see, this is me watching these fucking shows in their entirety and not talking about something that I said I didn't watch, I didn't like. I only watched a couple of minutes of it or a couple of episodes and trying to make an overall sweeping indictment of the show, having not watched even enough of it to figure out the fuck it was. But that's me, Gen Xer, analog, long form content creator. Armor Wars, I don't even think that shit is even coming out anymore. I don't. I do not. Because Rhodes was at Endgame, you don't have to tell him Tony Stark is dead. He knows. Yeah, it would be fascinating for somebody to see a black man in some turmoil over his white friend. But I have to hear you mention that in the same breath you giving this black dude shit for kissing a green chick. Although we still got Peter Quill chasing around Gamora all over the place. Like, I'm not your Gamora, nigga. Same time though. Shut up. Now the other little bit, I'll say that I'm gonna get out of here because I'm tired. I'm irritable. I need to take a shower, and it's Taco Tuesday, so I need to get my tacos and shit ordered. But I'll say this: the other report I was listening to was some shit going on at Lucasfilms, and apparently KK, my phrase, fired a bunch of people at Lucasfilm. Now, I didn't know she had power to fire anybody right now. I really didn't. I thought her ass was president in name only right now. That the only thing she's supposed to be doing is finishing that fucking acolyte show. But be that as it may, She fired some people off the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. Like anybody gives a fuck. Why? Why? Why she fire these people? Well, this leads into the title of this whole fucking stream. Tit for tat. If you remember last week, there was a big report about Jon Favreau firing a bunch of people at Lucasfilms from the story group and shit. Fired the whole story group. Right? And everybody was clapping. Like circus seals. Happy, right? Why? Because the people he fired were all people that were loyal to Kathleen Kennedy. You know, KK's acolytes. He fired them, got them the fuck out of there because they was causing problems for him trying to do Mandalorian season 4. Against his vision, against having Luke, didn't want the bye, go. Got him out of there, right? Got her spies out of his camp. So when you hear this week that KK fired a bunch of people on what? The 2 shows she working on? The fuck do you think it was? Who do you think it was? People that didn't agree with her on what she was doing and were kind of loyal to George's vision of Star Wars. She got rid of them. Is that surprising? No. Not if her friends got fired. Yeah, the Vince McMahon voice. You're fired. Yeah. I'd actually use the Donald Trump one, but because that's funny. You're fired. You're fired. You fuck out. No box, no nameplate. Just get the fuck out. Security, escort them out, please. Well, here's the thing, Aquatechie. She can fire people on the 2 shows that she in charge of. She ain't in charge of shit else at Lucasfilm. It's only these 2 shows. And that's why you have to listen to the story. Listen to the byline. It's like, oh my God, wait, I didn't think she had any power. You actually listen to the story, read a little bit. Oh, it's only on the 2 shows you got, huh? Well, who gives a fuck? Thank you for setting them free. Whew, thank God. Ooh, they probably happy to be out of that bitch. Yeah, Aquatechie, look, the pettiness is strong with this motherfucker. That's all she does right now. Why do you think this show ain't actually done yet? Because everything that keeps happening outside of Lucasfilms that decreases her power, it gives her something else to throw into this Acolyte show. Because that's where they getting all their pettiness out. This motherfucking show seems like it's going to be worse than Matrix Resurrection. You know, that meta commentary that Lana Wachowski was doing while all her bitching and complaining about what was going on with Warner Brothers. That's what it sounds like. That's the fuck it sounds like I'm going to be in for. Episodically. A bitch fest about who you don't like and what you wanted to do and how your ideas was right and everybody else's shit was wrong while you sitting up camp in somebody else's kingdom. And telling them they don't know how to run this shit. They don't know what it really means to have this kingdom. You know, shut your good goofy ass. Get the fuck out of here. Why are you here? Why are you here? Extreme pettiness. Extreme tit for tat girl shit. Girl shit. I thought this woman's supposed to be damn near 60 years old. Acting like a fucking teenager. A prepubescent teenager. Well, they didn't want to pick Chrissy and them, and they got rid of Chrissy and Dawn and Brooke, but that's okay. Get rid of Alan and Edward and Richard. All of them need to go. Elementary school shit. Yeah, Aquatechie, some grade school crap out of grown ass people. This is the part that makes me unsettled with just dealing with humanity, man. This is what makes me just hate people. Because you have some people who chronologically get older and their minds have never developed past puberty. Never. They never have a concern that rises above their own pettiness. Petty, childish fucking concerns. Like, how are you self-actualizing like that? How could you make it to the height of a president of one of the biggest brands in the world, fuck it up, and the main thing you still focused on was, well, they fired my friends, I'm gonna fire some of their friends too? Bitch, why are you here? Why are you here? Like, for real, what is your purpose in life? To give everybody else stress? Holy shit. I cannot believe you was put on this planet just to fuck up my damn attitude. I can't believe that. Like, God is really going out of his way with your ass for that. Fucking hell, dude. The height of pettiness. The height of petty shit. Now, am I worried about it? No. You know why? Because I believe John or Dave or Bob could just hire those fucking people back. Because she ain't supposed to have no juice, right? If you've been listening to some of these insider talks, they're supposed to have the 5 horsemen over there. She ain't in charge of shit. So they can, petition them and get hired back on. And John's group, John got some openings right now, Can use them. Because I'd be praying to get off of that bullshit that they was doing. What up, Toya? Birthday girl. Every day is your birthday and I hit the flow. Every day is your birthday and I hit the flow. Every day is your birthday and I hit the flow. Hit the flow. Hit the flow. I don't understand why. Why does anybody give a shit? Who is she impressing? Only thing that's pissing me off, and this is some more tit for tat shit. Follow me now. Because of that bullshit, she's done. John can't get the money for Mando 4 like he wants. Because Bob ain't giving it to him. Disney ain't giving it to him. Right? Dave can't get a second season of Ahsoka. Everything that was progress in Star Wars is being held up or undercut because this goofy bitch went out there and did the Indiana Jones 5 movie and fucked it up royally. Massive loss of profits. So the tit for tat of that shit is it's going to fuck up everything else behind it. Now, I don't think it would actually do that with the fans. I don't think it would do that with the fans. But corporate-wise, they're using that as the excuse to underfund all the rest of the stuff that John and Dave are trying to do. That's the excuse. It's an excuse. Now, you got to remember, Bob and KK is friends. They're kind of friendly. He on her shit right now about this company, but it's because she's been losing him so much goddamn money. She got to go. But don't think he ain't going to, do a little bit of her bidding. Don't think he ain't going to enact some personal, little bullshit because trust, he like Ray. None of us do. I'm of the mind that Ray character need to be reworked. Well, the only people who had a plan for reworking that character was John and Dave. Those are the only two people they ain't trying to help push the movie that they want to do with her out. No, they're trying to push this other shit. Because Bob is corporate. And he's still on board with that same bullshit. Give them more of the same. Get these profits up. Get the profits up with less money? Fuck you. You should have told her less money. Don't be looking at me. Don't be looking at me like I did something fucked up. That's on you. That's your girl. That's your homegirl fucked all that up. And the last season of The Mandalorian. The one thing that was making you money. You want to be mad about all the Disney Plus subscribers you lost? Tell that bitch to shut her mouth. Stop having something to say in good shows to fuck them up. Because season 3 of Mandalorian was her scuttle. She scuttled that shit. Just like she scuttled Boba Fett, just like she scuttled Obi-Wan Kenobi. She scuttled every fucking show intentionally. The only one she kind of excited about is this fucking acolyte in this fucking broken ass kid show. And if her excitement level is any indication of how good it is, I will just say she was excited about Indiana Jones 5 too. Her excitement level don't mean shit good. Which is also the inverse of if she tells you it's a bad idea in Star Wars, it's actually the awesome idea. Wrong read ass. Kooky Karen, KK. What up, Herb? Yeah, in the streets, you know what happens when you mess with somebody money. You get fucked up. Told y'all. I told y'all that shit. That big high level meetings, that was about you fucking up the money. Apparently, they finally hit that threshold where it was a little bit too much. And now you hear, yeah, she ain't got no power. She on leave while we go through these books. Really? Okay. I bet. It sound like money. Sound like money to me. Look, one thing I can tell you, if you got a bunch of chicks sitting around talking shit to everybody and talking about it's patriarchy and they getting something back, one thing I can tell you they doing is spending a lot of that money to have a fucking party. If you want to understand how this works, go back and read Animal Farm by George Orwell. What happened when the pigs with the other animals took over the farm and the pigs moved into the farmer's house? What happened? What happened? The pigs got in that bitch and started getting drunk and everything else. Other animals was looking through the window like, the fuck is they doing? Walking around in the farmer's clothes and shit and drinking alcohol. What? Yeah, that's the fuck was happening. Because pigs are going to be pigs. And try to tell you what you saw through the window wasn't really what was happening. Oh, that alcohol was evil. Ooh, that was evil. No animals ever drink alcohol. You gonna come out of the farmer's house? Oh, well, no. We gotta use this. We gotta communicate with these other farmers. So yeah, I bet there was some financial malfeasance going on over there at Lucasfilms. I bet it was. And I bet, as ugly as people want to say this Secret Invasion show was, you know who feet that fall at? Don't fall at Samuel L. Jackson's. He was just one of the executive producers. But you know who was the main executive producer on that shit? Oh, that other bitch that don't like black men either. Victoria Alonso. Yeah, you might have missed that shit when her name was coming up there. But that's another one of her shows. So if you think it's fucking terrible, well, you know what to blame it on, don't you? Since she was believing she wanted to be like Kathleen Kennedy in Marvel, told your ass, look at all these companies, what their problem is. It's usually some executives in that bitch. Some chick executive right there leading that shit down the toilet. Disney had two of them motherfuckers. One in Star Wars, one in Marvel. And where are they both going now? Who was the architect behind all this phase feminism? And what did you see? Another uberly powerful chick kicking the shit out of dudes. Tiny as she can be, looking as less feminine or asexual as she could be, like some lesbian's wet dream. Could have been a little boy, could have been a little girl. You don't really know. She was accentuated not to be a female. Yeah, exactly. Aquateki, you don't know how true that shit is, boy. Double the pride, double the fall. Oh shit, where my boy JT at? We was having a conversation this weekend. We was talking about that shit and talking about how hard we were talking about KK and how hard she goes and one of the reasons we go that hard. JT suggested some shit that's like I could see that being possible. It's like what if KK are undercover Les? Maybe she is. I don't know. She hire a bunch of them, don't she? Why the fuck would Leslie work with her? We know Leslie a lesbian because last sausage she saw her face must have been at a baseball game or something. She all muff and hates the patriarchy. She going way hard, way hard. Maybe she is. Look at the people around her. You say what they like to say about dudes that judge you by who your friends are. Okay, well, throw KK up there and look at her friends gallery. Moist talent ass dudes. Some of them intersectionalists. And some out now lesbian chicks. There's some weak fucking Delta males. Maybe she got a bigger dick. Maybe she got a bigger dick. That's how she swing it. Maybe she do. I don't know. Wouldn't know. I mean, this is still the question of a generation right now. Is what the fuck, George? What? Why does she go after you so hard, nigga? She ain't going after Steven this hard. Thought y'all was all friends. Why is she going so hard after you to fuck up your legacy? What you built? What did you say? Did you say anything? Did you resist her advances? Did you tell her you wasn't her type? What? What was it? And I'm not saying George actually did shit. But whatever the fuck, his existence is fucking with KK. Because she cannot have anything that George Lucas did stand. I'm serious. This bitch is in there like it's War of the Roses or some shit. Like he was an imprint or something. Like, god damn, bitch, let it go. What are you so mad about? What is you on about? She's so bad she come get other people to fuck up his shit too. Like what? What does Dr. Tia-san call that shit? That proxy violence? Like, why did you bring Ryan Johnson and Leslie Headland in here to come fucking up this man's universe? What? Why'd you do that? Like, you ain't doing a good enough job fucking it up. You gonna hire other people to do it? Fucking proxy violence ass. Look, I don't know what it is. I really don't. I really don't know what the fuck it is. Why she goes so hard after this man's whole dynasty. Like this is like, if you want to understand misandry, if you really want an object lesson in what misandry is, you have to look no further than geekdom, Star Wars, Lucasfilms, KK, and George Lucas's Star Wars. You have to look no fucking further, dude. That is a textbook case for 10 years running of absolute focused fucking misandry on one man. One man's building and legacy. One dude She is focused, nigga. She is laser focused. Yeah, Aquateki, she is. It might as well. You might as well recut Kill Bill and put George Lucas at the end and KK in place of the bride. Like, bitch, what is you mad about? Why are you so mad? Because I wouldn't let you wear my little spiffy shirts? What the fuck? Wouldn't let you brush my beard? What? It doesn't make any sense. This shit is personal. This is personal. Just fucking up Star Wars. It could have been a one-off. She don't know what the fuck she doing. Willow, Indiana Jones. You hit all of them, bitch. All of them. What the heck? What are you gonna do next? Go fuck up THX? I mean, she is going harder than the bride, man, and Kill Bill. She really is, Aquateki. She really is. That shit just fascinates me. It's like, dude, psychologically, something is the fuck wrong with her. I mean, that is some focus. That is some single-minded focus on destroying everything one man built. Dude, you can't get a woman that goddamn mad unless you fucked her mama or her sister or some shit. That's why I said, what? Did she abort a baby for him or something? What the fuck? What? What is it? And truth be told, I don't think George did anything to her. I don't. I really don't. I think it's how there's an understanding that people who are mentally disturbed see the world differently. So everything that they see as an affront to them, a personal affront to them, right? I think that's her. That's why I say George might not have did shit to her, but it's how she takes it and what she thinks it means. It got to be something. You cannot go this hard, this long on one person for it not to be something personal. And all it's about is removing George from what he created, which sounds absolutely asinine. It's like taking your DNA out of your child. Then you don't got a fucking child. You got a pile of goop. But no, we can do it. Well, how are you going to do that? You're just going to tear all of this shit down. Whoa, bitch, what? Yeah, Aquatech, he probably did just casually dismissed her or something like that. Like, you reject, I'm not going to be ignored, George. You know, some fatal attraction shit. Maybe she really wanted George and he didn't have no time for her, so she got with Frank, popped out 2 kids, but was still mad at George because that motherfucker, everybody love him, thinks he's a genius. He's not a genius. I gave him the idea of Leia. I was dressed up and showing my titties. I mean, what was it? What is it? The bitch ain't even been in the movies dancing. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. You have to be so fundamentally fucking flawed, and your vision has to be so fucking askew, no pun against Kevin Smith, that you would be involved with something like this for so long and turn around, have the keys to the kingdom, have the hand on the wheel, and decide to run that bitch right off a cliff. I know nobody black with the cloak of rainbow immunity would be able to ruin this much shit before getting fired. You couldn't have did 2 terrible fucking Star Wars movies and the motherfuckers would have been sweeping you out the door. Oh no, not in the president position. Oh no, not in the president's chair. Oh no, your ass have been gone a long time ago. Give a fuck about your skin color or your sexual diversity. No, you got to go. Saw how they fired the diversity officer. And she was a black chick. They don't give a fuck about none of that. When it's time to go, it's time to go. My Batman voice. You got that wrong. You're supposed to say it in your Alfred voice. Some people, master, would just like to see the world burn. And that's not my good Michael Caine voice, but nigga, that's who said it. Honestly, Master Wayne, some men would just like to see the world burn. And it's usually some bitch with gasoline and matches handing it to her. Because she want to watch it burn too. Just trust and believe. At every lynching, it wasn't just white men there. It was a bunch of white chicks. Happy. Wanting a penis. Maybe that was their first dildo. Would make sense. Anyway, on that cheery note, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and get my tacos ordered, get my body cleaned off, um, get myself rested. Thank you for coming in. This tit for tat and geekdom right now is gonna go on for a while because there is nothing actually going on with the writer's strike and the actor's strike. So they ain't gonna have nothing but time to sit here and get at each other about petty shit. And this is what you know what level of fucking intellect you're dealing with these people because this is all they got to do right now. That's it. Back and forth over some bullshit. I hate that it's fucking up John and Dave's stuff. Hopefully they can hang in there and try to weather this shit, but they're gonna get shit on for a little while by proxy because somebody else did some shit that didn't work, which everybody knew it wasn't. But because of that, under that cover, they gonna fuck with John and Dave for real. I mean, look, everybody keeps wanting to claim that Disney is dead. No, I think some of this other stuff might be. They're definitely trying to kill it. And the barbarians at the gate of the Happy Kingdom or the Magic Kingdom do want to kill that shit. Like they got something to replace it. Like they all Universal stands or some shit. I don't fucking know. But some people just like to see a world burn. And what bigger world than the Magic Kingdom to see burn? So everybody could dance around like this Lord of the fucking Flies and be happy for a minute till they find something else to go kill. So that's where I'm at. I don't want to see Disney fucked up. I like to see some of these people fucking up all of this stuff to actually go away. Get fired, go somewhere else, start their own company so we can all line around the outside of that one and wait to see it burn. Like, get my matches. Get my matches. Yeah, that's nice. And burn this bitch down. But I'm not looking for all of this stuff to be screwed up. I'm really not. So with that, thank you guys for coming through. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. $ Artisan MC on Cash App or Artisan MC on PayPal. I have been Artisan MC, and you have just heard a Geek Speak. See you next time. Unless you're Toya, y'all drop it like it's hot. That came out wrong, but fuck it. Whatever. I'm tired. See y'all later. Peace. Every day is your birthday and I hit the flow. Every day is your birthday and I hit the flow. Day is your birthday and I hit the flow. Hit the flow. Hit the flow.